What's up, people? It's Mr. Nim. Have you ever had a dream? Of course you have. You're human. Humans have dreams. This is just a fact of life. But. Have you ever known that feeling? When one minute your dreams are soaring up in the sky like a graceful eagle, just so beautiful.
And then the next, you're taken down, smashed with a hammer, plucked, fucking clean, taken home, put in the oven, prepared for dinner, then burned so you can't even have dinner, so they order takeout, and then they just throw that in the trash, and the trash people can pick it up, throwing it up on the same day that a reactivated World War II mine went into the dump, but then they didn't know it was reactivated, so boom, it just exploded!
Well, that's how this game made me feel! Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. This game I'm about to review, it blew my goddamn mind with how phenomenally awkward and painful it was to get through. But hey, you saw the thumbnail. So without further ado, I don't want to do this. But I gotta. Let's take a look at Harvester.
Ah, the 90s, a time when video games went batshit insane. Well, for the time anyway. Most games up until then were pretty simple and kid-friendly, but then a game came out that changed how people saw video games. Mortal Kombat! It was so violent and bloody and realistic? Yeah, that looks so real, guys. Just great job. You can't see it, but I'm clapping. It's a pity clap. You suck. However, this game prompted Congress and Senate to talk about video games for the first time and established the ESRB, the ratings board that's been rating our games since 1994. But because of these factors, violent video games got a lot of free publicity throughout 1994, especially those that went over the top with how disgusting they were. Games like Carmageddon and Grand Theft Auto got a lot of their publicity due to these trials. But this faded very quickly, and some games fell in the cracks because of it.
One of these games was, well, frankly, this god-awful piece of crap known as Harvester.
The game was announced in 1994, the heyday of the trials, and was slated to come out in the same year. No surprise the story took that long to complete, as the creative work was done in August, a mere month before the creation of the ESRB. However, the game was delayed due to unknown issues involving the game's programming. Very delayed. As in, it came out in 1996.
That's right. This game's programming, its programming took more than 2 years to complete. Hold this gun. We're ending this now. You might not see the problem with this game taking 2 years to complete the programming. But you will see very soon. Trust me. I promise you.
Now, because of this late release, the game was received extremely poorly by both critics and fans, retaining a 53 on Metacritic and a second negative review in 2011 by PC Gamer. It was a commercial and critical failure, but today's market doesn't seem to think so. on Steam it has very positive reviews, and on GOG it has a 4 out of 5 star rating?
Were people high? That's barely even a joke! That's a serious question! This game is so bad, so irreparably goddamned terrible that I'm gonna review the shit out of it. I'm gonna tear this game to shreds. From the story, to the graphics, to the sound design, to the gameplay, to the inner workings of it all. I'm gonna tear it right in half. Before we kick off the review, I'm just gonna go through something with you guys quickly because I have added a personalization to my ratings list. As you noticed last time, I added a perfect A+ rating. There is also a perfect F- rating, and in between, there's everything from A+ to F-. And each of these have a meaning. No, it doesn't correspond with the letter, because I don't care. It's cooler this way. Also, this time I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Last time, I covered gameplay and story separately. In this game, since it is a point-and-click adventure game, that's harder to do. So, instead, I'm going to be covering them together. This might not be the case for all point-and-click adventure games that I do, if I do more point-and-click adventure games after this piece of atrocitus crap. That's a word I just made up, atrocitus, deal with it. But, this is how I'm going to do it for Harvester. Because trust me, you'll see why. I'll also be covering both of them last. So, get a little rundown of things that you can, while you can, because we're about to start this suffering with a touch of sound design.
Honestly, pretty standard for most of it. The music is boring and bland, nothing to write home about. Sounds are standard, again, nothing horribly aggravating. The acting is bland, but that's not technically the segment. They're all pretty well recorded and come through wet. Wait.
Society. Everyone needs at least 3 servings of bread
What's
a
that?
day. And anyone who says otherwise
I can't.
is a common.
I can't hear you. What?
Once you're married
What?
to Stephanie,
What?
I'll be part of it.
Yeah. Every once in a while you get this strange ambient noise. And by ambient, I mean directly in your face and loud enough to block out the voice acting entirely. It's agonizing and painful to listen to.
Even though it's really the only problem with the sound, it's glaring. It drops what could have been a C to a D. It's really not okay. Not even stylistically. Especially when it drowns out the voices sometimes. That's all I have to say. Let's move on.
Ah, the graphics. See, this game, as you may have noticed, employs one of the major types of animation for cutscenes at the time. Full motion video, or FMV. These are cutscenes made with real actors or actresses, compressed to all hell so they fit on DVD. Full motion video could also be done with animation, but in this case, it's with real actors. And that just makes it look 10 times worse. Naturally, FMV will look some form of bad because of the compression, but this FMV is just over the top horrible. All of it. And the worst part is, all of the game is in full motion video. Every single cutscene, every single movement, every single environment is done in full motion video. The lines are very obviously dubbed, the way they move is all off, the color scheme is the most boring and horribly incorporated thing ever, and just look at that! Look at it. Look at how this fucker walks. Looks like Danny DeVito's penguin chafed his thighs after being hit in the gut with a kendo stick. And that attack. So menacing. You wanna fuck with me, huh? I'm Shovel Guy, and I'll apparently chop your fucking head off? What the fuck?
Okay, I'm being a little bit harsh here. Sure, the animations are a little janky, and not up to par necessarily, but they could have been a lot worse. There have been a lot worse looking games even today. I guess you could say it's thematic, even though it's just pretty bland and boring, and I guess you could say the visuals are okay-ish. Overall, I give the graphics a C-. They're below average for the time, but you know what? Could have been worse. You know, I don't know whether I want to do this. This game drained me. Took what energy I had and just sucked it out like a Dementor, sucking a soul. But I gotta. For all of you. It's time. Here's your spoiler warning right now. If you really, really want to subject yourself to this torture. But, like I said, I'm going to be covering gameplay in it. So if you want to learn more about why you should not play this fucking piece of shit game, then continue watching. So we're about to dive into story.
Harvester's story starts with literally this screen. You boot up the game and bam. No information, no clue what you're supposed to do, no nothing. Now, while this was common with adventure games of that time, this presents the first problem with the game. Without a walkthrough, this game is absolutely 100% unbeatable. Yay! I don't mean it's kind of hard. I mean that certain things need to be done in order that you would never guess at. But I'll get into that later. I won't guide you through all the motions. To learn those, you'll have to watch this video of Jesse and I playing through the game. Please, don't let all that work go to waste. Oh, and let's not forget, this game lets you ask to fuck your mom in the first few minutes of the game. Beauty. Beautiful. Beautiful. Why?
Now, this game gets weird fast, so I'm going to try to get through it and quickly. Bear with me.
Let's start with the character. His name is Steve. That's all we knows because that's all he knows. No, wait. That's all we know because that's all he knows. No, wait. Still wrong. That's all we have to endure because he has fucking amnesia. That's right. We are dealing with a GAP. The official name I'm going to be using from now on for a goddamn amnesia plotline. And it's not even a good one, frankly. There are so many good amnesia plotlines out there, but this one is just fucking unimaginative. It doesn't pull you in, doesn't help you remember points along the way, nope, just amnesia. He's thrust into the weird, wacky world of Harvest, a small town that seems to be in the 1950s. However, I don't know many 1950s towns that had aliens, a nuclear launch site, and a giant fucking castle made of human flesh. You go around telling people you have amnesia, to which they reply, in the most iconic line of the fucking game,
"Well, you always were a kidder, Steve."
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
Eventually you find someone like you, who you're supposedly engaged to. Stephanie. Steve and Stephanie. Great creativity. A+. Oh, and also there's people in the bathroom where you can see her change, so great job. She knows nothing, like your boy Johnny Snow. So together you try to find out. Your ultimate goal is to find out what's up with the weird ass town. You do this through point and click problem solving. And here's where gameplay comes into play. The puzzles themselves rely heavily on doses and doses of moon logic. If you don't know what moon logic is, it's basically when the puzzle solving logic of a game makes no damn sense. This, in and of itself, makes the game so very very breakable. In fact, my first time through about a year ago, which I didn't record, I actually did break the game. It's that easy. But eventually, once you've gotten to the logs, through the absolute fuckery that goes on, you have to complete the evil trials. They start with the dreaded keying of the car. Then it goes on to the stealing of the barber pole, which... Wait. Someone actually died? Oh, shit. Well, I'm sure the third one will be... Wait. What? No. There's 1,000 reasons not to do this. There's 1,000 reasons I did it. And the payoff for that is this scene. Fuck Stephanie while her dad watches. Yep, that happens, and then she's gone, except for what appears to be her spine and skull. Yeah, I just sort of passed over that part quickly because what the fuck?
Okay, I should really talk about this. This game relies on shock value. Heavily on shock value. Too heavily on shock value. So much so that the plotline and everything about the game in and of itself seems to get left behind for shock value. It's all about shocking people. And that's why this game, back when it was released, and still today, falls flat on so many levels.
All the shocking imagery is presented so badly, so sloppily, that it makes it less shocking and more annoying. Sure, some of it lands, but most does not. The stuff that lands is presented mostly in Chapter 2, as that's the chapter that made characters you actually kind of liked die. Like Edna, or the small fucking child.
But most of this is presented in the worst part of this game. Yeah, now we're talking. Now I'm fired up. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to talk about it. The part of this game that makes the entirety of the game the actual, literal spawn of hell itself. The one, the only, the terrible, awful, no good, very bad, fucking shitty ass third chapter of Harvester.
Something I haven't touched upon yet is the infamous combat system. There's a reason for that. It needed to go last. Because it needs to be ripped into shreds for its actions, and now I'm fired up enough to do so. The third fucking chapter is literally the worst thing ever in human existence. I cannot deal with it. I want to take it and break it over my knee. But let's be more level-headed. Throughout the game, there are rare instances of combat. The combat is bad. It's terrible. Hitboxes are janky, attacking is bad, but usually it doesn't matter because it's over quick. Until chapter fucking 3! Then it's all combat all the time. And it is not fun at all. It takes any fun the game might have presented and flushes it. Now, the payoff to the game is it's trying to make you a serial killer, which it may have done by the pure virtue of fury. It's an underwhelming ending with a simple choice. I hate it and hate it all. Even watching it played was like bashing my head into a wall. We didn't care about the ending, and that is bad. Horrid. The creators should be ashamed of themselves.
You disappoint me.
Story for this game gets a D+. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just nowhere near the quality that it should be for a game that wanted to do what it did. The gameplay, on the other hand, oh, Harvester. You could have earned yourself a D- and walked away. You could have earned yourself a D- for that moon logic, for that terrible combat that was only in there a little bit, for that generally not okay, but not terrible gameplay. It's been seen in a lot of different point and clicks. But you had to go and balls it all up with that third chapter. Harvester, for your third chapter, for making me, not even me, making Jesse grind through and making me watch. Harvester, you earn Mr. Nim's first perfect F-. I have never experienced such pain in all of my 18 years of existence. Oh boy, Harvester, you done fucked up. And you will not be able to recover. Fuck you, Harvester. Fuck you. So now, it's time for a final code. And let me tell you, this took a lot out of me. So it's time to end it with an F-. This game was broken. This game was unpolished. This game was unfinished. And this game was literally one of the worst games ever. Even when it came out. And yet, it received such positive reviews today. How? Literally, what do people see in it? There's no diamond in this rough. It's just rough. It is the worst game I've ever played. I have never played a worse game. So tell me down in the comments, what do you see in Harvester? Because all I see is brokenness and pain. Now, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you and all of you on the next episode of Mr. Nim Reviews. But until then, sign.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. This was a very intense video to make, and that's why it ended up taking so long. Click on the little icon there to see more of my stuff, and click on the other icon, the GG icon, to see the actual playthrough of this game and some more stuff. I hope that next month's review will not take as long, and I've enlisted some help to make sure of it. Who? Well, you'll just have to see. Until then, see ya!